Don't tell her. Why you gotta tell
What up, y'all? You know who it is. Your boy Jada Kiss, you know what I mean? Right now with Christian. Shout out to Camden, New Jersey, all my niggas out there. Let's get right into it. Yeah!
Btbtv. Christian, man. You born, let's get him, man. Yeah. Right, never off plan. Used to get busy with them guns in my hand. 4 or 5 or a black 9 with a grand in my pocket and beef cool as a fan. Btbtv, we are not playing. Y'all just talk, we back it up and down. Sideways, F what y'all saying. We Kyrie and Kanye. This is boss talk, so you clowns should just fly away. Yeah, on the bridge, throw your frame up the highway. This not a game, this is business, this my way. Real talk, your opinion is nothing to us. We gon' stay chill, long as y'all don't violate. But it's not fair. We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. You could be my friend or enemy, I don't
Y'all
care.
hit that like button coming in here, man. Hit that Cashapp, hit everything, man. Holiday weekend, get in a cheerful group. We in a cheerful mode right now, dog.
Stay up in the mix of project
Salute to the board. Salute to the King's channel, man. Y'all bless the King's channel today, man. It's a holiday weekend, man. Been putting in a lot of work for y'all.
People kick dirt on your name, what shoes you gave them. Broke your back for them, and they got the nerve to play you. Kick raps door off, pushed and shoved my way through. Bum rush the kitchen, put my floor up on the menu. Jealousy be hitting up in jokes. That's why I stay serious like David Banner turned in the Hulk in pure form like the Pope. Haters get infrared beams with the scope, so run and get ghosts. We fight good boxing like Floyd on the ropes. I'm the great black hope. Man, we the team and they know it coast to coast and it just ain't fair. We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear.
Yeah.
And you can be my friend
Y'all
or
hit that
enemy, I
like
don't
button.
care. And you
Coming
better
in,
be
share the content.
Cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. We the best. If you with us, put your lighters in the air. No, it just ain't fair.
Salute to Christian.
Salute to Christian, Btbtv, Princeton, New Jersey. Woo!
Here we go. Let's go.
Yo, born.
Let's show them how we do it.
Show them how we do this, man.
Let's show them. Yeah.
We bully the bullies.
Top of the
Right over the tree. Yeah,
Top of the top.
Btbtv.
Salute. Big Mac. Wagwan.
Y'all slow ninjas.
No, that's
right. Yo, John Gotti flow, rap Pablo, Escobar status, rap game Corleone. I can show you how you lay back and watch your pockets grow. Stay away from devious women, end up like Papa Flow. Y'all wake up every day twitching like yo, I gotta post. I wake up everyday mission. It's $1 million notes, dominoes, body drop, rot stink like hollow toast. Broadway, man, if you know, then you know. I came for everything they said I couldn't have. Got that and then some, and then some. I went to overload, say y'all overdose. Your rappers in the tight squeeze and that clutch like Cobra rope. The okie doke, they don't go for that. All she wrote, another tale from the street. That been horror flow. The projects like a ghost trying to haunt your soul.
It's my part right here, boy.
Homicide the folks who want to play to them guns scream adios. Another tale from the street, black mafia. So
that's my bar right there.
Mixed with Al Capone. Another tale from the street, like an opera show. These kids be acting to their life movie, curtain closed. Nowadays, your foes will plot you wearing Malcolm X hats, 666, the devil on his shoulder, won the death match. Reminiscing when more street ninjas was off the hook, chasing D's up off the block, torn and running, get the force, blood on pavement. He's 12 years old, then he's tough to play with. He don't go to play big ground, that's his fiends who want their veins stick. We can't miss. We hit the talk, we put our hands behind our back, our eyes closed and half framed. Don't play with us. Another tale from the street, death and horror flow. The projects like a ghost trying to haunt your soul. Another tale from the street, homicide the folk. Wanna play till them guns scream adios. Another tale from the street, black mafia. So Don Corleone
Miss
mixed with
Btbtv.
another tale
Salute
from
Queen.
the street like an
My
opera
wife.
show. These kids be acting till they like movie curtain close. Yeah.
Y'all the L7, peace to God.
Please God.
Movement, man. Yo, born, let's get him. Let's get him. Kaz, we up in here, man. Hood famous.
Yo, first of all, peace to the 5% nation of God's and earth. Salam alaikum, hamdulillah, rahmat Allah, to all the true Muslim brothers and sisters out there. This is King of New Jersey. This is Btbtv, we bully the bully, and I'm your honorable host, Born Divine Almighty Allah, sitting here with the Plug Podcast and my boy Matt Mizzle. Yo, we in here. What we about to talk about today, right? We about to get on this dude Gully TV bumper real quick, you know what I mean?
All right.
We get on his bump because this is the same guy that disrespected, that left his son hanging for dead because he said, that nigga ain't shoot for me. Why do I do something for that little nigga? He shot for the nigga in the street. They should take care of him in jail. This is his junior. Jamel Lindsay Jr. is his son. He's locked up.
I didn't know that shit.
Yeah, bruh.
Wow.
That's Gully TV's son.
Didn't it? But they said he was suspect anyway, won't he? He already suspect. Yeah, he's suspect. Yeah, I heard about him.
They saw Peace Queen. I see you. I see you, Queen. Peace.
They had him on the stage. Remember when Ab and them was on his bumper? He was scared when Ab and them was on his bumper.
Hell yeah, as he should be.
Yeah.
Having to put that work in. But
yeah, free AR Ab, free AR top goon.
Ain't nothing gully about that. That's for sure.
That's some whole shit you leave your son hanging. But yo, first I'm gonna start off with this. Not this one. Oh, fully glad. No, not this. I'm gonna give you the truth about why Romeo did what he did, and then we're gonna go to Gully TV. All right, here we go right here. Hey, you.
Welcome back. Before we get into it, y'all, I need y'all to go like, comment, and subscribe. Click that notification bell so that you're notified whenever I post a video. I need all the support I can get. So today's episode is about Master P and his son, Romeo Miller. Romeo called his father out on social media over his sister's death after Master P posted a post supporting someone who recently passed away. In that post, Romeo said, today was a boiling point. I seen a man avoid his own children's struggle with suicide and depression, posting another man whom passed today that he doesn't even know. Your idols be lost. Better stop following the blind. Watch when it's revealed. Now, the support that he's referring to is Master P took to social media and paid condolences to DJ Twitch, saying RIP to the one and only dancing DJ Twitch, and salute to Snoop Dogg for celebrating him. There are crazy times living in. You can be smiling one day and going the next. He was supposed to DJ
Black Widow
on the 3rd. We were having January 13th. The No Records boss wrote, life is too short. Appreciate your loved ones. Mental illness is real. Shout out to the Malone and Dre London coming together with me for the cause. God is good. Didn't stop there, man. They went on, or Master P went on, jump social media and said, this generation needs to stop blaming their parents for everything. How do you think they got to where they are without their parents making sacrifices for them? Mental illness is real, and so many families are deeply affected by it, especially when there is added trauma like death of a loved one. Social media is not the place for healing. Son, I love you. Stop trying to get people to feel sorry for you. and let's come up with a solution. You can come talk
Peace
with
to
your
Almighty
father,
God.
your
Mary
family like a
Lost. Peace to
man.
Almighty.
You have kids too. No family is perfect, but together with God, we can heal. So Romeo seen the post and he jumped under. This was my last straw, Pops. Stop trying to play the victim. I loved you so much that I followed you blindly for 30 years. You know we've talked behind closed doors. You aren't the man you paint to be, and why is it war because I refuse to follow your lead? You only want to protect your image, but that image isn't even real. And I don't need anyone to feel sorry for me, Pops. I'm truly a man of God. If you are really a man of God, then you will prevail in the end, and even when I share my truth. I have tried to keep things in-house. You are addicted to social media, and unfortunately, you use this app as therapy. 3K plus posts. And when the world find out about the finances outside of the gift in the car, I've never been paid for anything I've accomplished as Little Romeo. Uncle C and Silk, no, you only pay outsiders rightly so they'll speak good on your name. I'm at peace because I now speak my truth and help others. Mom was always right. Your pride is everything.
Peace to the God,
So
Jonathan
P took
Kidd.
back to social media and made a post saying, I thought this was about DJ Twitch and about my daughter's death. This is heartbreaking. You just exposed that this is really about money. I watched other celebrities go through this. I'm not playing into this anymore. God knows the truth. I'm at peace. I work hard to get my family out the ghetto. Every time I fell off, I got up and went to work. I didn't blame anyone for my failures. You started this social media rant. So what's your plan besides showing the world you're an entitled, spoiled at 30 plus and throwing a tantrum on social media? I never claim to be perfect. I'm not afraid to admit that I'm still growing as a man and a parent. Everybody deals with death different ways. I get it. I'm just an ATM for this family. I don't care about an image. The bloggers can have their laughs this week. I'm going to keep working, keep praying, and letting God guide me. Mental illness is real. So a little while later, Mr. P took to social media again and posted this.
I got to get out of character and put this on the internet, which I don't want to do. But I try to call my son. People say, why you call? I did. He don't call back. It's been months. So my question is to Romeo. Like, if you've been in the business for long as you've been in, and you're a 30-something-year-old man, and if you've been around me, watching me hustle and do my thing, why you not where you want to be at? Because that means you're not listening. That means you want to do your own thing. You done brought your own circle of people, but you can't get mad at me because I really thought this was about, the only reason I entertained this on social media, I thought that was about the DJ Twitch post that I put up. And I thought it was about my daughter's death. I thought you was grieving. Mental illness is real. But I want to tell all the people out there that just don't understand how bad my heart hurt. Romeo lost a sister, but I lost a daughter. And for any parent that's going through this, because I know that it brings people closer together or it tear them apart. But I come from nothing, y'all. And I could go back. I'm with it. I won't be angry at God. I won't be upset. I won't go get mad and be disrespectful to my parents. And none of that. Just say, Dad, thank you for putting me in this world. Now I can go out and hustle and go do my thing. But that's the problem. When you take kids and you kind of like protect them from the real struggle and the pain, and you don't allow them to deal with their own consequences. And then when they grow older, they, oh, you never gave me nothing. At 30-something, man, people could go back and look, you've been shining for a long time, son. All you got to do is pick up the phone and call me or come to the house and holler at me. The saddest thing about this is what the people want to see. They want to see destruction. So if you destroy me, what are you going to do for the rest of the family? Are you going to take care? You told me on the post that you put up, oh, you go take care of people in the community. That's what you're supposed to do when you come from that. You go help people. I'm just not helping ungrateful people. I'm not an ATM machine. People can't just say they love me when I give them something. I'm tired of that, y'all. And any other parents, you could be rich or poor at a smaller level. You might give your kids $10, but if that's all you got, I've always fell off, got back up, hustled, did my thing. I'm tired of all these blog sites and all this stuff, poking and having fun. Y'all can, but I'm about to go back to work and do what I got to do. I love my family. My door is always open for my son. To be honest, because we shouldn't have to go. And if I'm wrong, forgive me. I'm apologizing to you if I'm wrong. I'm still a work in progress. I come from nothing. Everybody go through time. I'm dealing with this right now, but I love going out into the community and helping people. That's the way I heal. Allow me to, you don't have to be sitting around moaning and crying and all. I can't get my daughter back, but I can get out there and keep a legacy going, keep a name going. So let's do this in love and let's do this in peace, because this is what the system wants. Think about it. We stronger together, but you older now. So you got to lead by example for the rest of the kids. And we're gonna get through this. I'm just telling y'all, keep y'all prayers. We need it. Lord gonna do what you gotta do. You know, I'm not gonna come on here no more. So bloggers and everything else is cool. Whatever you want to deal with Romeo. Whatever y'all think he's saying is true or whatever, that's cool too. I can live with it. I'm at peace now. I had to.
So after watching that video and reading those back and forths, those social media posts, my take on it is a little different from everybody else.
All right, now we're gonna holler about that real quick. All right. All these child stars, right?
Yeah,
they make all this money, and their parents take their money and do what they want to do with it because they're still minors.
correct.
Gary
Coleman.
Gary Coleman, the other nigga for white boy. Macaulay Culkin. Webster too.
Yep, they did it.
So they do this, and then when the kids say something, the kids are wrong for speaking out. I'm a father with a bunch of kids, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I understand if my kids made money and I did something to mess their money up, they got every right to say and post how they feel, especially if I wasn't doing it for the rest of the kids. He already said, he was like, yo, you took time with me because I was making you money. You didn't do that for the rest of my brothers, rest of my siblings.
Right.
So he already felt some type of way about that. And then you barely spoke of your daughter's passing for that OD she did with that fentanyl. But then you know
what? I hate to cut you off, guy. You would think that he would start what they call them things, like a trust or something in her name where he became an advocate. You know, where he become an advocate on some shit. That's what's so crazy that I didn't even know. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I didn't even know his daughter died of suicide because I don't follow shit until.
Oh no, it wasn't suicide. She died of drug overdose. It wasn't suicide.
Well, even drug overdose. I didn't know that. I knew that her mama used to be on drugs. You know what I'm saying? That's how they kind of fell out. But no, I see exactly what you're saying. Yeah, that shit ain't right, man.
And I'm gonna tell you something else. You gotta think about it. How did her mother get introduced to drugs?
Yeah, the ice cream man.
How did her daughter get introduced to drugs? Remember,
well, I ain't gonna say we can't say what he was the one, but
I'm not saying
lifestyle. Let's see what you're saying. Yeah, the lifestyle. I see where you're going with. Yeah,
you're not paying attention to your kids.
Yeah,
and they're out there doing what they want to do. And you talking about, oh, I ain't doing nothing for her. She's ungrateful. Next thing you know, she died from OD. Maybe she needs that daddy daughter time.
Real shit. Nah,
you know
right.
Yo, Big Mac, what you got to say about it, bro? Big Mac.
Big Mac.
Hold on 2 seconds. I'm just pumping gas real quick.
Oh, okay. Big Mac. I told you he'd be like pumping gas. I'm at the store. I'm at the grocery store.
And I'm saying though, you know what I'm saying? And then you got this nigga Gully TV, the Real Gully TV, that left his son hanging in prison, talking about, oh, he ain't shoot for me, so I'm gonna take care of that little nigga. He ain't do it for me. But now you wanna pass judgment on how what Romeo said about his father. Romeo got every right to feel.
Well, but you know what? And here's the thing about that is that I hate when people speak on situations when they either one did not try to play a part in somebody in the life, or either, you don't just say, fuck that nigga, let him rot in jail. You the nigga that created him. He's an offspring. He's an offspring of you. That's what they don't understand. He's an offspring of you. No matter what you want to sell it, he came from you. He's part of you.
So your traits, he has generation passed through the loins. You know what I mean? I hate that, man.
Hold on, matter of fact. Hold on, let's see.
Salute, Mr. Smith.
Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Master P's get taking that mastership to the head. You know what I'm saying? You out there on social media and anything. Your son is grieving. Your son is that's your son, yo.
Yeah.
Forget everything else. That's your son, man. You take him in a closed room and y'all hash it out, no matter how long it takes. You know. Like I don't know, man. I don't know why he's trying to save face. You know, niggas. I know niggas that went through way worse things than what he's going through right now, and they would never do that. Try to air their son out on social media or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of shit that Master P gotta clean up. Plus he said Uncle C and Uncle Silk know what's up. Ah shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he said.
They know.
That's what he said.
You know what I'm saying? When you say that, you should feel bad, man, because C Murder is a real nigga. Chakra. From what I see,
it hit different when he used both his uncles to count for it. It hit different then. Boy.
Exactly.
That's both of my uncles, nigga. And then I get what they saying. Like, you know, to me, like if I think that was the smart way to do it. But then let's look at it on the other hand. Maybe he didn't like. I get what he's saying, but at a point in time, you become a man or what. I don't know what the hell that was. What was that? Yo, God.
Hey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
I don't know what's phone. I don't know what's wrong. I had to put him on. Yo, salute to E. Scott. Scott Eric LLC. Buy houses cash.
That's right.
Get my brother.
Yeah, get at my boy, dog. You know, my boy Scott, man. You know what I'm saying? Trying to buy back the block. Holla at Scott. Trying to buy back the block. So yeah. No, I was just saying, man, like, you know, it could be looked at on both sides. Now, his dad was in his life all his life too. And to the point where they actually had a mansion, which he built another mansion behind it, like a mini mansion or whatever, for him to stay. Now, at a point of time, you suppose, because now all y'all live on one property together. Bro, you still supposed to be, if you're a hustler, it just, to me, show he ain't really no true hustler, because he's supposed to stack bread. I know he probably done helped his pops out, but man, he wouldn't have that money to play with if it wasn't for his pops. See, that's why.
No, bro. We can't say that, bro. Because you got to think about it. Even after his record,
man, Romeo was gone.
Hold on,
man.
Even after his rap career was over, Romeo was in movies, TV shows. He was doing his thing. Why his pops help, bro? He did his thing because he was a cute little boy, so he was getting his money. What I'm saying is, you don't take your son earn money because you don't pay your family, but you pay the mother motherfuckers so they can talk nice about you, but you won't pay your family. That's what old Romeo said. And that's some real shit. I see people do shit like that, bro.
Salute Stone, Mr. Smith, man. Y'all hit that Cashapp, man. It's the holiday weekend, man.
Real spit.
Getting back to the channel too, Mr. Smith.
People do that shit too, man.
Appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're right. I see where you come, but I'm just looking at it from both sides. I'm just saying, like, even he was there. Like, that's like if all of us was living in a crib, man, we all should be able to get to the point. Eventually, you want to branch off. But then I think he just, you know, being under his dad. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. I just feel like he should be. I mean,
he's doing it the wrong way, Cross. You know, as a parent, as a father, you know he's doing it the wrong way. You know, Romeo wouldn't exist if it wasn't for his father, bro. We got to be real with him. He came up. His father was already made before he was born. Right. So he should have been a product of his father at another level, which is what his father is saying. And as a youth, as a young man, or as a teenager or as a child, you don't understand the specifics on financial management when you're owning a corporation that's worth $250 million. And that's what No Limit was. Like Master P had everything. And he had the shit on Smash for 10, 12 years. Right. So Little Romeo got everything he got, even in the industry, based on his father and his father's name.
Right.
So when we see that, when we see these actions now, we have to look at the reality of it from a parental standpoint. And I definitely hear what Born's saying, but how much did Romeo understand throughout his life the responsibilities or the procedures and financial management of a corporation versus being a father inside of a home with a family?
Yeah, salute to Scott Stone and my beautiful queen, Mrs.
Peace, Scott.
You know what I'm saying?
Peace, Stone. Peace, Black Widow. Peace to the gods and earths of the universe. Pardon me. My apologies for not introducing and representing and definitely recognizing. Peace.
All right. But now, really, what reason I'm even doing the show because the nigga Gully TV has something to say, and this nigga, this is what this nigga said. This Eric Scott, salute for the cash app, bro. I appreciate you, bro. This is what this nigga said, right? He said, "Man, my son is shoot for me, so I'm gonna take care of that nigga in jail. He ain't shoot them guns for me. He shot for some other niggas. Let them niggas take care of him." What I'm saying is, that's your seed, bro. He got his name is Jamil Lindsay Jr., bro.
Right.
So
but you got to realize this too. Sometimes our seeds aren't products of ourselves. They come from us, but they're not a product.
No, listen.
Of us. Like
Gully brung this. Gully was doing dirt in the street, bro. No excuses, bro. My son, like even my sons, they be mad at me sometimes. I understand when they mad at me because, nigga, I was traveling, I was on the road, I was doing what I was doing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I understand that. But what I'm saying is, these niggas don't take responsibility for their own actions. We're the ones that push our sons into the way they go because either they want to be like us or we're not there for them, so they got to get that money. You know what I mean? Either way.
Yep. Right. So what I'm saying, like I said earlier, I'm just speaking from a parental standpoint. You feel me? When I got my son, when I found out that my son's mother was pregnant, bro, I left the street alone, bro. I literally put the gun on the shelf, bro, and started weaning myself out of the industry just so that I can have this moment right now where I can say I gave up everything for mine. So when you don't make that sacrifice, bro, and that shit come back to you, you don't stand up, then that's the face that you gotta wear when that shit comes. I ain't abandoning mine, bro. I ain't abandoning my son for shit because I done put this work in. You feel me?
Oh, look, like Mecca said, Romeo was a child star. So that means that he was not able to buy a house, buy a car, none of that. So where did this money go? None, unless Master P seeing him as a slave. Yo, you got to think about Gary Coleman, how his parents did him. You got to think about Emmanuel Lewis, how his parents did him. You got to think about the white boy Macaulay Culkin, how his parents robbed him. These parents,
but none of those parents were stars, though.
Right. That doesn't matter, bro.
Yeah, because Romeo got everything he got from being the son of Master P.
No, he got that because he had talent. We might not think he could rap as a kid, but as he got older, he was doing movies, TV shows.
Hey, bro, if he had talent, he'd be a star alone. And that's what he's not. He's not Bow Wow.
He's still doing movies. And hold on, Bow Wow's not a star right now. So what you said, bro?
Bow Wow doing his numbers as a grown man. That's my point. like if Lil Romeo, it's like the Marquise 50 syndrome.
No, it's not like Marquise 50 Cent syndrome because Marquise ain't get in the booth for rap. He ain't get out there do no movies when he was a kid like Lil Romeo did. So we can't.
Oh no! I mean the mentality, the relationship.
No, it's not because Lil Romeo was close to his father. He loved his father. Lil Romeo still loved his father. He was upset with his father's doing. How his father
didn't. I think like King saying, what really hurt him the most, he dealt with a lot of shit. And we do that dealing with our fathers. We put a lot of shit on the rug. But what did it was, damn, bro, you took the time to text about a dude that you barely knew or knew only from the industry, but your daughter, you didn't even text like this. And you could at least got on TV and made an acknowledgement about mental, like he did the other day. Mental health is real. I think he hurt because he wants to play, like his son said, he wants to be in front of everybody to play a role. But man, everything ain't for it. And if you was gonna put that on the camera, man, you supposed to put your daughter on the camera. You supposed to talk about starting some funding about women that has kids that's on drugs, because you said your wife, your ex-wife was on drugs. It's a lot of things he should have been doing.
He just lost his daughter though, Cross.
But he didn't acknowledge. That's the reason why.
His daughter.
No. Listen carefully to what I'm saying. When he talked about his daughter, he expressed the pain as a father dealing with the fact that his son lost his sister, and he never dealt with the reality or never addressed the reality of how he's coping with losing his daughter. And we can, differentiate the emotional complexity of it, but the reality of it as a parent, like just think. Like, I know my kids got problems, but when I lose one of my children, that's a big problem.
Pause 1 second. Hey, Yusuf, hit the link, man. The link is in the chat. Yusuf, my cousin Yusuf Muhammad, the bill. Salute to you. Peace of the God.
Peace of the God. Peace of the God.
Hit the chat, Yusuf. I understand what y'all saying. However, what I'm saying is I understand everything y'all say. However, he's still doing his thing in the industry. You dig what I'm saying? He's still acting. I just see him in a movie recently. He's still doing movies. He still getting his money. What about the rap snacks? He's supposed to be Master P and Lil Romeo rap snacks, right? 50-50. Master P never give him that money. Listen, and the white man was the one that wanted to give him Lil Romeo the color of his money because Master P held out all of years.
Also, Born, when you get a chance, if you can look this up on YouTube, remember now, we forgot just 3 years back, Romeo invested a whole lot of money in that movie that ended up flopping. Remember, it was supposed to go to the theaters. It never hit. That was 2 years ago. That whole, what was it? Was it I Got the Hookup Part 2? Some shit, whatever that movie. It was a movie that they were supposed to go in on, and him and Romeo actually went independent on that, and it flopped. I don't know what the name that was. If y'all can look that up, that's a good one too. No, you don't blame. I'm not blaming. I can't blame Master P. That's what I'm saying. Nah. At 30 years old, you know what I'm saying? I get it, but
I'm not blaming Master P either. What I'm saying is,
no, I'm saying somebody in the chat said, so blame Master P. I said, no, that's what Lawrence Robinson said. So blame. No, I said, I'm not blaming him.
Bro, I look at Romeo as a privileged child, bro, growing up. And he had everything in the palm of his hand, and his father put the world in his hand. We wouldn't even know Little Romeo if it wasn't for Master P's success that was prior to Little Romeo. So I'm finding it hard to understand or accept without detail why would Romeo have a problem with the finances when if you're a man in your own, you're a hustler by self, you've made something for self. Because between 18 and 30 is 12 years.
Unless his dad had him locked into a slave deal and he had to give all his money or something.
No, I mean, but you gotta think about Little Romeo. When he was Little Romeo and he was selling albums, this nigga was going platinum and double platinum. His album,
but it was on the strength of this. We got to understand the album was on the strength of this.
It don't matter. That doesn't matter, man. That doesn't matter. It's still with double platinum and platinum, bro. That doesn't matter.
But my point is this: if I made me, like Jay-Z said, if y'all made whole, then make another whole. See, if Master P didn't make who Romeo is as a career man and entertainer and an artist, then hey, do your thing, Romeo, and you don't even got to talk to him about money. Just keep your money to yourself. See, that's my point. If you ain't him, then how you accusing him of not being who he's supposed to be to you when you've not mastered the business that he's maintained?
Where's Little Romeo's money? Why he just get his money from the money from when he's a child rapper? What about the money his father used his money from his child rap deals to pay off his taxes when he went bankrupt.
Nah, bro. I mean that maybe that's Maybu's story, but I find that hard to believe, knowing money in the industry, knowing his
hold up,
history.
Big E. We can't put Romeo and Marquise in the same category. Romeo went out there and worked for his. Marquise is
Psychologically,
now.
Well, his father put him out there. See, we keep excusing the fact that Master P is the source code to Little Romeo. So when we look at those record deals,
can I say something, please? Can I say something?
Yeah.
Let me tell y'all something, okay? That little boy worked. And if it wasn't for Romeo, okay, yeah, Master P had his little rap career, okay? Romeo career from Nickelodeon, from his rap music, from all the TV shows, from all the Lifetime movie channels he was in. Where is his childhood money? So you saying, Ja, that it's okay, and Big E, it's okay for you to work your child like a slave, and they not supposed to profit at all from it? Their own work, their own back work?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
That's how it's coming across.
Just so y'all know. I haven't said that.
Ja, I let you talk. Stop cutting people off. You need to learn how to let other people talk. For real.
I'm defending myself.
Stop cutting me off, Ja. Stop.
Hey, no yelling. No yelling. Let's just talk.
Yeah. Now, that little boy worked, okay? Little Romeo. He was the first rapper on the Snack Rap. He's on there as a kid with the braids. He's on there as a teenager, and he's on there as a grown man. Okay? And if he wasn't owed money from that, they wouldn't have gave it to him. So we're not going to sit up here and compare Lil Romeo to 50 Cent's son who never worked. Little Romeo been working since a kid. And it is not okay for these parents that had them kids working all them hours, all this makeup, all the stuff that the kid got to go through, for them to spend up their money so when they get older, they have nothing. And Master P didn't even pay for Romeo to go to college. Romeo went to college on a basketball scholarship. So how much money?
Hold on one second. Hey, Yusuf Muhammad, cuz I just text you the link in your phone. So hit the link in your phone, cuz you come up here.
So how much money was he really putting into his son? How much money was he really putting into his son if his son had to get a scholarship? So don't act like because Master P is up here looking like he's shining. Don't act like y'all don't know it's no irregular diamonds. And everything that shine ain't go. Okay? So stop. We need to stop acting like it's okay for these parents to mess up them kids' money. And a lot of and Macaulay Culkin parents were lawyers. They were lawyers. It's a lot of parents that is running around here, got their kids up there in Hollywood, going through whatever they going through, probably ain't getting no sleep, probably ain't getting a proper nourishment. And because I'm the mother, I get to spend up all their money on their labor. So guess what that would make me? A master, and my son is a slave.
All right, yo.
He accomplished nothing.
Let my cousin Yusuf speak real quick because he's driving. Let Yusuf say what he said. Peace to the God. Peace, cuz.
Peace to the God.
Peace. Can you hear me, cuz?
We hear you. Loud and clear.
Okay, peace, family.
So
I'm gonna try to get my thoughts together because peace. Because I'm emotional about this because I feel like we already know that the black man is the most least respected in all of this world. We're not respected by the enemy. We're not respected
like the
by
black woman,
women.
though. Not like the black woman, though.
Let him speak, my sister. Let him speak.
Becca,
let me finish.
Real quick, Becca.
But you see what I mean? The sister was just demanding respect from the brother, but as soon as I opened my mouth, she jumped right in. That's what I mean. She was demanding respect. The brother was speaking prior. I just opened my mouth for 5 seconds and she cut me off. So that's kind of what I'm saying. But we're the least respected from the enemy, It's put in public, you know, on display in our music, you know, in TV. So in the news media, in our households. So, and we don't respect each other as black men. That's why we blow each other's head off, you know, for the least indiscretion from another. So it bothers me to hear this when our children turn against us. Like the brother said, Master P put his son on, right? This is what we hope for from our family. We hope that our fathers put us in a position that we can get a head start in life. And that's what he had. And whether he squandered it or what, we don't know. We weren't there, right? That's his point. Master P is not really out there putting the business out there on Front Street. But how many older black men realize that they've been screwed out of the money because they don't know finances and accounting, and they hire, you know, lawyers, and they really don't know the contracts that they signed. You got grown men complaining that they were taking. How do we know Master P wasn't taken advantage of, you know, through some of the business dealings? But we have limited understanding when it comes to accounting and business and contracts and stuff like that. So as grown men, so imagine how much misinformed Romeo was as a child, as far as how much he was entitled to, how much he was getting, all of that. But what he did get was stardom, right? That he couldn't parlay. He got recognition. He got put on. He got introduced to the music industry, the acting industry, fashion industry, business, like the brother was saying, the rap snacks and all of that. So he knows, and he has his father right there to show him how to do it. When do you go for self and use that knowledge that your father gave you to parlay something great for yourself? You're 30 years old and you complaining about what your father didn't do for you? Talk about what he did do for you. But what he's doing is, in my opinion, because it's about legacy too. How do you know? I mean, I think the way he's speaking, he might be destroying his future, because I believe he's his father's oldest child, correct?
No, I think the daughter was.
Okay, so but he's so as far as inheritance and things like that, he's in line for that. But he's sitting here going at his father in public, and he's gonna destroy, quite possibly, his inheritance. You think his father gonna give it to a stranger? No, he got that coming to him. But he's in public putting out family, and I'm gonna stop in another minute.
All right,
he's in public putting out family business that really should be dealt with behind closed doors. And like I said, it's probably misunderstanding with how much money he was making. As grown men, we don't understand that sometimes. You can see it in the news, Kanye crying about his contract because he don't understand. As long as he's been in the business, but you sign on the dotted line and you don't know what you're getting. You just want to put your out there. So Romeo didn't know how much he was getting. There's no way he was a child. But he's 30. He's not a child no more. But he's whining and crying in public like a child. But it's due to the lack of respect for black men. That's your father. He put you on. That's what most young black women complain about, that the father's not there. He was there and is there. It's a lack of respect for the black man, and we should stop it, you know, if we can, you know, as soon as we can. And by perpetuating, it's okay for a black son to talk about his father in public when all his father did for him. That's perpetuating the disrespect, in my opinion. That's what I got to say.
Peace. Actual facts.
Peace.
The God said what needed to be said, which is only logical in the situation and separate of emotion. God, I don't get online to be spoken to in a certain fashion, but I do understand the mentality of my people. So I am patient, I'm forgiving, and I'm merciful and modest with it. But we got to deal with the truth as men, because as men, we all got sons, and I got a son I'm raising right now in the rap industry, bro, like Romeo was under his father. But my son has a stuff of loyalty with him because of his environment and the condition that he was raised under, versus other children. If there was no Master P, I asked everyone this: who is little Romeo and where would he be?
Right.
And if there was no little Romeo, would Master P have the longevity that he got?
Of course, sis. He Master
No,
P
he
before
wouldn't.
Romeo existed.
He had no limit. He had no limit record.
Sis, he was a mogul in the industry before Romeo was even known, before you even heard of him.
He wasn't even no mogul.
Sis, you got to understand who he is or know the truth before you speak on it. Master P is an industry. He's a music industry mogul and a movie producer. He's a businessman all around the board as an entrepreneur and has been.
Hold up. But y'all can point out all his credentials, right?
Right.
But y'all overlooking all the work that little Romeo did. That's what y'all overlooking. Y'all praising. No. Y'all praising Master P. Oh, he did this. He did because he the father. Okay?
Yes.
But the son did work as well. And he's entitled to question what happened to that money. He's entitled to that. Okay?
Yes, he is.
Yes, he information, is. The black woman is the least respected and the least protected. The black woman.
No, man. Yes, that's an illusion. That's an illusion. But we agree that we're equal. I'll say that the black man and
then when you speak like that, Josh, say we equal. Don't say just the black man.
No, well, I'm saying that to satisfy the discussion. The reality is that the black woman isn't killed on our streets at the level or the propensity or the ratio as black men. The black woman has. Sis, listen carefully. The black woman is the most educated.
Women in domestic situations. That's a lie.
Right. Well, sis. Those same sisters that you aid aren't dead in the morgue. That's my point. Versus their sons or their brothers. So the reality is this: the brother made it clear.
In domestic situations that have gotten killed. Where you been?
But they're not little Romeo.
It's going on rampant now. So stop.
I know, sis. I know, sis, and I walk with those same sisters.
We're gonna either come together or we're gonna keep separating ourselves with the black man, the black woman, this, the black man, that, the black woman, this, or we're gonna come together.
We should just be truthful with ourselves, sis, and that's the easiest way to success. Being truthful. So being truthful is that Romeo was a son of a media music industry mogul, and
the truth is Romeo was a kid star. He was a kid actor. He worked as a kid.
Who made him that? He is not talented, sis. Ain't nobody come find him. Ain't nobody come find him. His application is placed at the top of the pile.
You don't deserve to be paid. You don't deserve to be paid for the work you do. All right then.
Who gave him food, clothing? Who gave him food, clothing, shelter, and luxury?
That's all. That's it. That's all.
You can't surmise it. You can't surmise it to an emotional rant, sis. When you got to look at the logical truth.
I'm over-talking you guys because you like to over-talk people and you think your opinion.
I'm not over-talking, sis. You're the only one exercising that. You're the only one exercising that, my sis.
This is why I'm talking.
My sister.
I'm over-talking.
You're the only one exercising that.
You feel that you're right about everything. Nobody else's opinion matters but yours. That is why.
That's not true, sis. That's all opinions don't matter, sis. Only facts.
I'm telling you my perception of you, John.
Hold on.
Yes, your perception can be flawed, my sister.
It's not flawed, my brother. It's not.
It's just your perception. It's just your perception,
sis. How you are.
No, it's not how I am. It's how you see me. It's how you see me, my sister.
Yeah, there's no order.
Mecca job. Once part self. No, one part self. We're going to speak one at a time. We're going to yell. We're going to argue. We're going to talk. And we're going to be kings and queens in the shit. You know what I mean? All that yelling, that's just making bad energy.
I'm not argumentative, brother. I'm not argumentative, my brother. I'm just defensive at the moment.
You're not argumentative. You're combative.
100% when I'm defending myself.
Against what?
You know what this reminds me of?
Of my opinion? Of my opinion. You're combative over my opinion? Then that makes you
being spoken, my sister.
That makes you weak.
Being spoken. It doesn't make me weak. It makes me strong in my position to be able to defend my words and my character. And when you speak against it, it's only a respected man that would be heard. Well, if my character's flawed, sis, I hope that you can assist me in correcting my flaws.
I'm not.
So
No, you're not going. In order for somebody to help you correct something, you first must listen, and you're not willing to do that. You want to overtalk everybody. You want to intervene when people giving their opinion. Make them have to overtalk you. Make it look like it's a combative situation, and none of this never happens until you come on the platform.
My sister, you're describing your behavior. You're describing your exact behavior.
Everybody, I'm not distracted by nothing. I'm just telling you something. Now, see, I just told you
you're describing you're describing your behavior right now.
No, I'm telling you. No, I'm telling you things that other people don't want to tell you. Okay?
Or perhaps our brother is true that the black man is the most disrespected person that we know in this society. Perhaps that's what's really undergirding our conversation, because it's like constantly, regardless of what platform, my sister, you should contact me personally so that you can find out who I am personally. That way we don't have this.
I know who you are. You show me on all the live. You show me.
No.
I'm not going to be able to hold a conversation with you because you're going to want to, if I'm trying to express something to you, you're going to want to cut in. You're going to want to overtalk me. So we're never going to be able to have a conversation. But I can hold a conversation with everybody else on the platform with no problem.
Well, sis, don't forget, I just offered. So saying never is just your perception once again, which is flawed.
We got George Mickey here. Let George Mickey speak, man, because I know he be busy.
Peace to the God. Peace to the God.
Peace to God.
Peace,
peace, bro.
Peace to everybody. This I've been having conversations with my wife about this, my brothers, and it's it's different sides of the coin. Different people have different sides. I'm kind of like down the middle, right? I don't like the fact that the son went online and said what he said. But me being a father of 4 children and raising all 4 of my children, they all have different personalities. One thing I know in the black community that I don't like in the black community, I understand, like, we have a lot of dysfunction within our communities, and we grew up in
What's up, cousin Law?
Yeah, we grew up in a lot of pain. A lot of times, just because we was parents and we stayed or we raised our children, don't always mean we did everything right. And I feel like we used what's that scripture? Proverbs. It's Proverbs 22. We use that about training up your children and all that kind of things, and we use the scripture in the Bible about
training the child up in the ways he goes, so when they depart,
yeah. We use that scripture, but a lot of times, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. You know, as a father in the home, we're more than just providers. We're more than just providers and just being there. I'm not gonna deal with the mothers right now because I can deal with that, but I'm gonna just talk about the fathers because that's what the topic is on. I'm learning this. You know, a lot of times we go to work and we provide, but in the black community, we're told to do it, especially in our generation, do what you told, don't ask no questions, despite whatever the parents may be, despite however the parents may be. Like, you have to honor and follow your parents and shut up. So what I'm noticing is nobody listened to what the son said. Everybody just went to what the father may have been doing, or he's the father and you're being disrespectful. Nobody listened. Now, my stance is, I don't like the fact that he went public with it, but in the black community, children don't have a voice. If you say anything, you're disrespectful. So that don't mean that Master P felt as a father, but in some aspects of raising the children, he may have been flawed. And what I see is a powder keg busting where the child is saying something about it. So I'm not going to condemn him. I'm listening. And I believe that this ain't just Master P. This is in our households across the black community, period. We have bad communication. And in the last 60 years, we've been very dysfunctional in the way we've been raising our kids and what in the harvest we've been producing, where we see what the children has been doing. So when I see this carrying on and he's saying, well, I never got this and I didn't get this and the illusion of wealth and dad, you do this. I'm not just going to throw that away, because as a pro-black, when I've been teaching in these spaces, everything that the child is saying and what the father is saying goes on in the black community every day. Yep. And we got to talk about it, because the way Big Mama was and Granddad, those generations after that, let's be real. When Big Mama died, and granddad died, man, a lot of our parents lost them houses. They was on crack. Not all of them, but it's been a lot of dysfunction. Yep. And just because the illusion of wealth or somebody we like, that don't mean they can't be critiqued. I do a lot of wrong shit. I just had to have a conversation with my oldest son. He told me I was a provider, but I didn't know how to love. I didn't know how to be affectionate. And guess what? For years, when he tried to tell me that, I would blow him off. I ain't trying to hear that. You do what I say. Guess what? My father was the same way with me. Facts. So no, like, wait, you gotta stop. I'm gonna land my plane here. I don't like the fact that he went public with it, but just because he said something don't mean he's wrong or he should be condemned. Scripture says, I'm gonna end it with here. Ephesians 6:4. Fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in discipline and instructions of the Lord. So if you want to use that one scripture about respecting your the children, respecting the parents, there's scriptures on how you're supposed to father and lead the home as well. Oh, but y'all don't want to use those though. A lot of us are hypocrites.
But what makes us think because Romeo is saying it that it's true? It may not be. Not? He may be speaking emotions too.
But how you know it's not?
So I agree with it.
Okay,
almost everything you.
So what makes you think what Master P is saying is true?
I never said that. But what we do know is that he was in that young man's life. We do know that, right?
Yes.
And we know he may have been doing the best he could. Maybe Master P didn't understand the contracts. Maybe Lil Romeo don't understand his contracts as a young kid performing.
Well, that's not Lil Romeo's fault.
Say that again.
Romeo was being a son following the father's instructions. So if Romeo didn't
have both ways,
he was under the guidance and leadership. It says, do not set up crafty counsel in the home. The father is the leader of the home. See, we're not going to go out of these teachings now because we want to suit the way we feel. I'm going to stay right within the teachings of what we teach, being right and exact. The father is the leader. So now, if you have a disgruntled son, the leadership still falls on the father. We got to figure out what the problem is. And it's right. I'm not condemning Master P or the son. I want to know what the problem is. But what I'm not going to just say is the son is wrong for questioning his father.
But the son is wrong for, and you said this, the son is wrong for going public. Right. Master P said, if you want to have a talk, we could talk and let God sort, with God, let us sort out our differences. I'm not about to do it in public.
Did you hear what the son said in the letter? Did you hear, my brother Yeshua, did you hear what he said? He said, Dad, I tried numerous times to get through this, because I read the letter multiple times. He said, I tried numerous times to get through to you to only be shunned away. And he said he wasn't listening. Then he also said, in due time, if you really stand with God, he called his father a great leader, but he's blinded. This is what he said. So now we know in scripture in Quran, when you have a problem with an elder or somebody, you're supposed to come with a witness, and if they reject, you come with another. If they reject, so we already know how this goes. So what I'm saying is, he's saying I did this, and I know this because I was scared to death of my father as a kid. So me questioning my father or trying to say something, and my father wasn't trying to hear that. His thing was, why gotta work it out they care? You get your ass out of here. Who's to say that P wasn't doing that? And now that he's old enough to defend himself, he's speaking out.
Well, who's to say he was? Why
don't know. That's my point. So why condemn the son?
But the evidence.
So what's the best way? The best way to reconcile between those two? Is it publicly going at each other? I mean, what? And here we are on this thread, sister arguing with brother. It reminds me of a black household where the mother and father has a disagreement about the child. And
I'm not arguing with him.
Hold on, and then the mother's
I'm
being loud.
Him.
Say again?
I said, I'm not arguing with Ja. I love me some Ja. I'm over talking him because that's what he do.
Nobody listening to this will believe that you have love for that man, the way you spoke to him.
I don't care what y'all believe. But nobody cares what y'all believe.
You should, because it's
tough love. It's called tough love. Y'all ain't never heard of tough love? Y'all ain't never heard of tough love.
But that's what happened
back there.
Hold on, that's part of our trauma. That's part of what happens in a black family.
But
mother and father have a disagreement about the child. The mother leans towards the child position and tell the father, no, you're treating them wrong, and soften this child. And I'm not saying you shouldn't have consideration of the child. I raised 13. So So I raised my
I raised 2 black male sons that turned out to be productive citizens in society. No criminal background. They both got jobs. They married and all that. I did that. The black woman.
Where was the father?
Where was the father? In South Carolina.
What did he have some role in that activity? Because you said I.
Right. I'm talking about my part. I ain't talking about his father. I'm telling you what I did as a black woman.
Why don't he get some respect in that if he had a role that he played? You said
because I'm telling you, because y'all feel like black women can't raise no kids. And especially males.
Nobody
and especially black males. That's why I'm saying what I'm saying.
But when we imbalance because the woman's trying to raise black male, if she's not giving credit or respect to the father and let him raise to the best way that he know how, we're all learning. You know, we don't just jump in and know how to parent as a black father, as a black woman. So it takes the two that
now, whatever he did, whatever
the two that
laid
down in love, the two that lay down together in love should be equally participating in raising that child. And if somebody's beating their chest saying you castrating the black man.
No, I'm not, because he probably over there with his friends, right? Or whoever he's around, right? And he's probably telling his friends, I took care of my sons. I had them every summer, every holiday, every Christmas, everybody's birthday. But where am I in that conversation? You can't tell me that I can't be proud. You can't tell me that I can't be proud of my accomplishment.
I didn't say you can't be proud.
Me and they father still communicate right now. We get along. We check on each other. We talk to each other. We always remain civil with each other. But I'm still not. I don't have to say me and him because they live with me primarily. So I'm going to speak on my accomplishment. He speaks on his own accomplishment.
From the little that I gather, he was there in some form or fashion. So when you say I, that's a lie.
I'm talking about me, and what I accomplished. I just told you that. I'm talking about my accomplishment as a black mother.
Gotcha.
That is what I'm talking about.
Back to my point, it sounds like that conversation, it just reminds me of what happens in a lot of black homes when mother and father has a disagreement to the son. The mother's voice is usually the loudest. The father usually has to kind of submit.
No, the father normally usually beating on him. How about that? Since you want to put it that way.
Well, that's a bad choice in companionship. But I think the overall statement is this, and let me use this analogy to add on something briefly. A child is a seed, and the seed is planted. But the mother is the nurturer. She's the one that walks up every day, make sure the fertilizer is fresh, make sure it's watered, make sure it's in the right position, that it has support. But that's not the only thing that causes the seed to grow. The father simultaneously is the sunlight. And that child gets that sunlight for 16 hours a day. And that 16 hours a day compatibly promotes and succeeds the growth of the seed. So whenever you have a mother doing her job as a nurturer, a provider, and a mother, you also have the father that's given that life-giving light as a provider, a protector, and a professor. And what we miss out on is the respect for that in the black man, because that's been conditioned out of us through a process of slavery.
I'm gonna talk to you later because I see this turning into like the black man.
It's truth. It's just sis, I'm including you.
That the black woman is the least protected on this planet. The black woman.
Not around me. Not around me, my sister. And that's a reputation fact.
I'm really getting tired of hearing like we don't support y'all when we do. We don't have y'all back when we do. So when is the black man gonna have the black woman back? And I'll talk to you later, boy.
A good question. That's valid.
That's a great question, sis.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, yeah.
Yes, sir.
Back to the regular schedule program.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this. It's when we had these type of conversations speaks to our dysfunction. Something I always talk about on my channel. Something that was created by a group of other competing men within the society that don't look like us. They keep us in disarray. All people got to do, go back and read King Leopold's letter to the church on how to, basically how to break a nigga and what he said about the position of the woman and the man. And in that letter, he said, we must make their children always follow the priests, even if their message is diametrically opposed to that of the parents. We must keep the women in 9 months of suppression to work freely for us, and also basically keep the man underworked to the point where he's not relied upon. The problem that we have is in our communities, we don't know how to decipher and pick partners. We don't understand both sides, what masculinity is, femininity is. And in that we actually create dysfunctional families, but that was all designed by them for economic surplus. So we come into these spaces and we argue and we go back and forth and we do all these different things. But look at our communities where we come from. Casual sex is the rule of the day. Right. We still fucking like we on a plantation and then expecting relationships. Like we're not producing. All I'm saying is this: the expectations that women naturally have in men, naturally through nature, we're not producing those type of boys or men to meet those expectations. And then we're getting into relationships. That's not all our fault. That was a system that was derived before we were born that we're actually all living through now. So now when we had these type of conversations with Master P and his son, that's just another side effect of the Black community, period. That's of the way we operate. I've been there for my son. I raised my son. But watch this though. When that still don't mean I knew how to be a father. I was a father because I knew I was supposed to be a father because I had my father. But I didn't know how to properly parent till I got into the scriptures. The scriptures taught me how to parent. So no, I had to renew my mind from the actual world because how I got with my children's mother was based off casual sex. I wasn't groomed into being in a relationship with them to understand manhood, sacrifice, and commitment. I wasn't taught that. Most of our girls' view of masculinity and man is based off how good he can fuck, not his ability to produce. So no, so what I'm saying is when we do these teachings and writing a Zach, I don't separate it when an issue come up like this. I apply that same teachings to what I'm seeing. So Master P, like he said though, he said Master P said in his message to his son, he said, man, I'm still learning. That means he made a lot of mistakes. He was a father to his son because he know he had to be, but he made a lot of mistakes. But because of that, he's paying for some of those now. And those are the things that we got to look at that and then address in the greater community. So for me, it's not just about Master P and his son. It's about the greater community because this is happening everywhere. Yeah, you got a lot of parents that stated that don't mean that we did everything right. That's all I'm saying. And then we got to fully instruct our children to when they got to, like I'm laying right here. I fully instruct my sons and my daughters in my house. When you got a problem with me or your mom, you deal with me according to the way the scriptures say you deal. Period. That's the way I operate in my house.
All right. We look at what Glam Culture said, y'all. Glam Culture, a sister, she spoke on it. She's speaking on it. She said,
actual fact.
Men and women aren't on the same level. A man is a man and a woman is a woman. Everyone has a position to play. Stay in your lane.
Yep.
That's 100.
But we don't have lanes in our community. Our lanes is messed up because by other people, and our people are traumatized. So when you hear people talk, and especially like a lot of our women are traumatized because they're unprotected. So but that was created by other groups of competing men. So in the Black community, the Black woman really only go to the Black man for dick for the most part. She doesn't have to rely on him for her livelihood. That's warfare on a community. So she doesn't know. So even when she wants a Black man, she doesn't know how to respect him because she never had to, or she was never under the leadership and guidance of a man. That's a destroyed culture, bro. So we come together, fucking have babies, but we don't know our roles.
None of it's produced on love, and that's what it is. Love is missing. It's emotions, it's passion, it's physical, and then we're cleaning up later. We're having these conversations, trying to clean up the mess that we started in the beginning by picking the wrong mates because we picked them on superficial stuff, and love was not in it. Love was not in it.
That was created for us. Our way of thinking is not new. Our way of thinking, when you read P.W. Balther, when you read King Leopold, when you read all of these different people on how to break a nigga, they told you the mindset that we were having. It would take us 500 years to get out. That's why you have 5% teachers in the Nation of Islam and the militant Christians and all those to try to renew our minds from what they told us. We're still operating like we're on a plantation.
Right. Yeah, when are we going to change that? The question is when we're going to change it.
Man, we gotta know something wrong first, bro.
And after all
But
these
we got to know
teachings,
something wrong collectively.
after all these teachings, we know something's wrong. We clear.
No, but we don't have the remedy. What I'm saying is they knew this. If you don't know how to break those conditionings, the teachings is teachings. If you don't know how to comprehend and apply it into your life and see a working model of it, then it's not going to matter. In our communities, the ones that have the knowledge haven't formed together to create working models that the people can follow and benefit from. Because every time we do it, it gets infiltrated and brought down. Because our dysfunction is profitable for the other groups of competing men. Warfare is not guns, bombs, and bullets. Warfare is psychological on the people to make you see yourself as something that you're not. So
that's a fact right there. Behavior. That's a fact. But that's my point. We constantly, those of us that are conscious, not just conscious, but culturally motivated, not just culturally motivated, but active in our communities and rebuilding these settlements, we got to realize that there's an enemy. And our people continue looking at each other at the enemy while not courageously facing the enemy. Right. And until you do that, you're not going to be motivated to do anything else. I tell the brothers all the time, there's two factors of problem with the Black community. One, we got the only disease on the planet called self-hate. Two, we have a serious allergy to accountability. Right. So until we stand up and be men and women together and say that's the enemy, right? And we shall no longer accept what we've been given. We shall take what we deserve. Nobody has ever been given freedom in the history of the planet. They've always taken it. So it's up to us to become families once again, because that's the strength of the Black man and woman. Right, unity, but unity, making it a common unity, which is a community.
John, I want you to hear something real quick. Now, I was telling you how Gully TV, how he left his son in jail, said, oh, this nigga wasn't shooting for me, so I ain't doing shit for the little nigga. He's got to shoot for other niggas, so he gotta hold his own down. Yo, when I say that, all parents, I don't give a fuck how messed up their kids. Man, I was a piece of shit. I ran the streets, I sold drugs, shot niggas, did what I did. And my mama, my grandmother still held me down. My people still held me down, you know what I'm saying? So there's no way you should turn your back on your child because he get in trouble. But now you want to say how little Romeo ungrateful. You ain't even in a position. You ain't in a position to talk about it. You ain't in a position to talk about how grateful he is when you left your child rotting in jail.
Exactly.
Hold on one second. Listen, this fair use though.
Saying that shit, right? He was hitting the Harlem Shake when he was saying that shit. Let's say Bow Wow had he was the king of 106 in Park. Bow Wow. Anything. I don't remember him doing anything besides being Master P's cute little son. That's it. That was it. I don't remember him doing anything. Right now, his ungrateful ass. This little nigga never had to grow up and struggle. He never had to grow up worrying about his house being burglarized. He never had to grow up worrying about bills, not having the latest GT or Mongoose. You dig? He got all the GTs and Mongooses he want. He getting vehicles when he's a baby and shit. TV shows, MTV Cribs, all of this because of what? What? He was Master P's son. That's all he's ever been. Peace. Was Master P's son. That's it. I don't recall him ever being impactful. The rest of them niggas that was on No Limit, Silk the Shocker, he's famous for rapping unorthodox, offbeat, and some say whack. C Murder, he has a following.
All right. Now, the only thing I'm saying like this, right? We can't discredit what that young man did. That's why I hear that part. I was gonna play this whole shit. You can't discredit what this young man did. He did make a lane for himself in the industry. You know what I'm saying? He made a lane for himself. His father gave him the alley-oop, and he took it, and he made the shot. He got a full scholarship to USC to play basketball. You dig what I'm saying? So he made a lane for himself. So niggas like Gully TV don't even take care of his own kids, allegedly getting caught in transgender situations. You know what I'm saying? How you gonna talk about another man? Because Little Romeo's a grown man now. He's asking about what happened to the money that I made with Little Romeo. He's making money as a grown man. He's still doing movies. He's still doing grown up hip hop. He's still, you know what I'm saying, doing different things. They just gave him his money from Rap Snacks, the money he'd been waiting for 15 years, 10 years.
That's what
he finally gave him.
King, that's what I'm saying. But that's why I approach this again, because we're scripture, and it says whoever troubles his own household will inherit the wind, and the fools are the servant of a wise heart. What I'm saying is, I'm not saying that Master P felt as a father, but that don't mean he did everything right. So when the son says something in the manner in which he says, it doesn't mean that he's wrong or you just discredit because your father fed you. Your father, no. That's not the way it go. I'm raising my son. I got two sons, 31 and 15. I had a certain way I'm supposed to raise these boys with integrity and do certain things. I don't want, no.
Right.
I wouldn't want my daughters to be up under a man that thinks that way, where she doesn't have a voice because he goes to work. She does. No. Listen, we still have a responsibility to keep order and keep non-crafty counsel within the home, man.
Bingo.
So if the son says, Dad, I never saw this. I watched you pay these people. I watched you do this. I tried to talk to you. You ain't talking to me. If it goes live, the father, listen, it's God, the father, the man, the woman, and the child. He's the leader. It still falls back on the man. We got to have those conversations. It takes more to life than just raising a child and going to work. I'm telling brothers this stuff, man. It's more than that.
We also got to address the other side of the eclipse as well, though, because
we did. Hold on, John, before I'm done. Let me land my plane here, because what I'm saying, this is what I'm trying to say. The reason why I'm taking this stance, because the other side of the eclipse is always expressed. It was expressed from the door. It's the sun is being destroyed and led astray because of the other side. What I'm doing is, as a father's son, I'm playing the other side of the coin just for the conversation. I don't agree with him going public, but what I'm saying is I don't want the conversation amongst black men to be one way, because I know where it goes in our community. That's all I'm saying, John.
But if you don't,
I agree, George. I agree, G. All I'm saying is, real briefly, that once we look at we only looking at one dynamic, which is the influence, the responsibility, and the maintenance from Master P. But Little Romeo has a mother as well. And what I was saying was that if Little Romeo was not Master P's son, would he be who he is today? That's my point.
I got that. That's legitimate. But remember, too, when Master P was going through his divorce with his wife and it was highly publicized, Romeo stood with his father. And he said it. He went on the thing with his father, he made comments based with his father, and he said, I was the good son. I stood with you to let you shine even when the truth wasn't being revealed. He said all of this. So what I'm gathering, Jai, is right now, what I'm gathering, if I'm using my spiritual sense, what I'm gathering is he loves and respects his father, but this is a power king exploding. So he's being emotional now.
Right. That's where I was getting to. That's where I agree. That's where I was getting to, my brother. Exactly.
Right.
So if respect for the father as a head of household, is in order, then we could say Romeo is out of order because he's not showing no respect for what his father has done for him. He's focused on the part of what he thinks, he believes, he feels, which is valid. If he feels it, that he didn't do for him. So he's focusing on that part of what he didn't. We all have parents who didn't live up to our expectations. I have a father right now who really wasn't there in my life, really, to be honest, for 18 years or whatever. But guess who I'm taking care of right now, 53 years old? I went down and I picked him up and brought him up because he was suffering and he stayed with me for the last 3 years. I'm taking care of him right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I would never go in public disrespecting him based on what he didn't do, because we're all flawed. We're flawed as parents, we're flawed as children, but we should never devolve into disrespect, especially in public. Now it comes out in the household, while the son is learning his voice. But to get out in public, he's out of line. So if he, not to say he's wrong in what he's saying, nobody's saying that. Not to say Master P is right or wrong. The point is, to be out in public like that shows the mindset of a lack of respect for a child, for a father, especially a father who was there. He may not have been there in the light that Romeo wanted or expected, but does any of us on this phone or on this platform, can we say that our parents lived up to our expectation? I bet we can't. But when we jump on social media tearing down our father, tearing down our mother, tearing down our grandmothers who raised us, hell no. We look out of bounds. We look out of order, basically. So somebody got to tell the truth.
But you know what, God?
It is a microcosm of the macro. You know, they reflect the micro of what's happening in all of our households throughout this country. This is what's happening. But
let's look at it. Let's look at it from this point, right? We wouldn't be considered, because we would be very careful of how we word it, which we can say, let's use an example, maybe through the years he had. But if we were to talk about a traumatic experience in our upbringing, we would watch what we say, but it could be interpreted to somebody else that we could be putting them down. Like we all, you know, us coming up got stuff in our past, and our parents, like you said, didn't live up. But you said something that was very important. You said, regardless of the little things that happen in our life, you said the first question, you said, I can agree. So are we agreeing that if he was doing everything in order, then his son is out of order? That's what you said. So now we have to ask, was he doing everything in order? Regardless of what we saw. Because that's what you said before you landed, before you took off. You said, fasten your seatbelt. If the ticket is not right, you cannot board the plane.
Hey, can I speak to that too? Can I speak to that? Go ahead. Speak to what he said.
Real quick, did I say Master P was in order? Or did I say that?
No, you said the question. No, you said if he was in order, if Master P was in order and doing everything in order, now would Romeo be out of order? So the question would be, is Romeo right now would be considered out of order? So now you got to ask yourself, was Master P in order? Because if he was in order, Romeo wouldn't do it. Because even in our lowest level, what I'm saying is, even in our lowest level, and we're not a Master P person. You said in our family, we've all been through stuff. But as we all been through stuff.
Let me answer it.
Yeah.
So if somebody come into my circle, right, and they're out of order, am I right for, devolving into, losing my order because somebody came in and was out, and I believe that they were out of order? Or should I maintain a level of intelligence, emotional intelligence at all times? See, God is not present when you're out of order. So
that's true.
I agree with that, but that analogy. Let me say this, Joshua.
I don't think I ever said that Master P is in order. I don't know if Master P is in order.
No, you didn't. No, you never said he was.
That way. You didn't say that. Let me say this real quick. I understand. I was listening to what you were saying, but again, us on here, all of us, me, you, Ja, King, all the conversations we have, we go either through. We supposed to come from either the Quran or the scriptures, right? And the way we deal with it. So for me, I come from the scriptures. Mm-hmm. And like I said, it says, train up your child in the way that he should go. Even when he's old, he would not depart. So my thing is this. What I'm looking at is, when I'm seeing the explosion, the emotional explosion of the son, I'm looking at the leader of the home. And I'm listening to what the son is saying, and I'm listening to what the father is saying. Now, the son is saying that, Dad, this is what he said. We've been living a lie for a public image. We've been living a lie. So my father, as I'm starting to get older, I'm starting to see my father's leaving me astray for money, for dollars, to create a public image that's not real. And I'm starting to step away from that. He has every right to speak up because there's crafty counsel in the home. And if I'm calling my father out on it, and he said, Dad, I stayed quiet to let you shine. Now he's outing family secrets, but they're secrets because they was based on lies in the first place. So the son is saying, and that matter, because I'll read it.
It sounds like you taking.
I'm listening to what it was said.
But hold on. It sounds like you're taking everything he said on face value.
No, hold on. No, let me address that.
You have a leaning towards him for some reason.
But I can say the same thing. But I can say the same thing. Hold on, listen. I can say the same thing for you with P, but I won't. Listen to what I'm saying.
But no. I'm just saying what it sounds like. But I'm not taking a position.
No, I'm taking the scripture position of both sides. Both sides.
But you're making it sound like God automatically is in the corner of the children.
No, that's the way your ears hearing it because you're listening to respond. You're not listening to me. Listen to what I'm saying to you. Listen to what I'm saying to you, beloved. What I'm saying is this. I'm dealing with the son part first. As I'm a father, I'm raising kids. So I understand how a lot of our kids don't understand what it took for us to be able to take care of them because it's not their life. The life I lived coming into raising my son don't know about that, the struggles I had to go through and all that kind of stuff. So he should respect it. I got that. I'm just dealing with both aspects. And the reason why I'm taking this position, because I sat for 4 days on this, and I listened to everybody, especially within our community, say the son was automatically wrong and he's disrespecting his father. What I'm doing is saying, hey, you can use those scriptures, but there's also scriptures that direct our parenting and how we should operate as men. That's the only thing I'm doing. Nobody's going to ever bring that up because we don't want to address that. We have accountability on both sides.
You're bringing it up, so it's valid. You're bringing it up.
That's the only thing I'm doing, bro. I'm not saying Master P was all wrong and the son is all right. I'm just bringing this to the table.
Right. So
hey, I got a question for us, right, or the brothers. Like, who benefits from this scenario?
Good question.
We should, Ja. You know why?
The public.
No, I mean directly upon the pain of their family, being that they just lost a daughter and sister. Who benefits? Where's the benefit, or where's the good that comes from this public expression?
The directions. We're gonna get into an accident.
I think I'll say this, Ja. I'll use it this way, a little more conventional. I think I can't speak for them per se. Hopefully the Most High work it out, and maybe this may be the tip of the iceberg that may get them to, because you know, fathers and sons, it's been this way, man. Fathers and sons sometimes, man, they clash, and hopefully this may be something to wake them up. But I hope, Ja, in these conversations that it forces us to get back to the word and use the word on how we actually deal with each other, and think we can learn from this too. That's the only thing I'm hoping.
Right, Master P did state that with the leadership and the guidance of God, that he wanted to reconcile and correct the flaws that he has had, but more so that his son has taken a position upon. I believe forgiveness in the heart. I raised my son purposely, even after he and his mother separated, because my son needed, one, the development of his personality and characteristics that came from me genetic. It had to be guided and developed in a certain way so that I don't lose my son to my own flaws that I found out and realized in myself.
Thank you for saying.
So when I look at the science, you know, I studied the science of a knowledge, how to give birth to a God. And me and his mother sat down and watched these 3-part videos, and then we had our son. And he came out exactly the way we perceived. So when I look at people, look at the authority of men, Black men, we do have an emotional complexity to us because it's genetic over these years and centuries of being treated as if we are just breeders and not men and not fathers. So when we look at a son that's been provided for with the best of things in life, before he understood what his talent as a person was or his genetic gifts were, he was provided with the best environment, the best luxuries and securities in life. We have to look at the situation of him being now 30-some years old and addressing something as now a young man, and the reason why, the benefit of why. And his emotional outburst was, yes, disrespectful to his father. His father, however, should have had a better relationship with his son to prevent such a scenario. So I see it. I see it from a direct perspective, as I spoke in the beginning initially, from a father, a parental standpoint, is what I've always spoken from during this subject. And it's important that we remember that, yes, scripture and God's guidance is important, because being righteous, striving for righteousness, is the first step to being right. So,
hey, John, can
sir.
I add this to you, and maybe you can add on to it? You know what
Sure.
I'm learning to do with my sons, especially my youngest son? Being there for him emotionally, sitting down and talking to him. Something my father didn't know how to do. My father knew how to provide for me and make sure I was protected. But my father never ever put his arm around me and said, son, how was your day? Is everything all right? I don't think men, because we go through so much trauma and we're traumatized as black men, period. We don't provide a lot of that times for our sons. So when they get upset, we'll say what we did for them, but they're like, I don't care nothing about that. This is what I needed from you.
Right.
And that's
G, you know what's real? You're saying what I am an example of in my community. Yes. My sons, all of them. My daughters, all of them. The word they've been trained to say to me, and they hear from me consistently every time we communicate, whether I'm leaving a residence, son, I'm going to work. I love you. Dad, I love you. See, and the problem is we don't teach black love. We embrace black pain. That's universal in the black community, from Seattle to Miami.
We don't know how to
but
say
we don't. But the word "I love you" is important, and I say that because I had to teach my older brother how to say that to me, and it took 8 years because we were estranged. You know, my father got murdered when I was 5 years old, so my mother got deported when I was 6. So we were estranged in America from each other, and my brother didn't have that type of relationship. He didn't have his father. He's 8 years older than me. You feel me? But I had to teach him. When I went to prison, I studied my family, and I came home with a concise knowledge of how to fix things. So when I see how Master P built what he's built, he's done, like you said, everything in what he knew how to do. Like Yahshua said, we have flaws, but we try to provide the best. And the reason Little Romeo is a subject, because Little Romeo was just Little Master P when we first seen him. And it was the love of a father to a son, pushing his son out into the world to become a business mogul like his father. So seeing this, it's kind of disheartening, being that it's so public and it's become a subject that we can discuss, that we should be, as you said, learning from.
Hey, John, you know
I'm
what?
black.
Sometimes the Most High allows this to happen to get a greater attention.
Yes, sir.
If this didn't happen, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So sometimes the Most High do allow the people that we put our attention to bring more glory back to Him. So the thing is, because for me, what I'm gathering, I'm telling you, man, listen, my son and my organization, Urban Nerds, I work with these young boys. What I've noticed is a lot of times we fight to give them a better life. But a lot of times these young boys is just looking for an emotional attachment. And that's not, that doesn't make them weak. They have to know and believe that they can do these things. So a lot of these boys is trusting in us. They want to follow us. But we think because I bought you this, or I did this, I provided this for you. Man, listen, I would have gave anything. I got it from my uncle, John, my dad's brother. My dad just walked. I don't, when my dad ever, I think my dad told me he loved me 2 years ago for the first time. He never said the words. He showed it with me with his actions. But I needed to hear it.
Facts.
Right.
Hold on. Empress, show your face. Empress, show your face.
G, you
show
right,
your face,
G.
Empress. I don't know what it is. Show your face.
My younger brother, that's 13 months, my junior, was sitting in my barber chair, right? And pardon me, my older brother that I had to teach, that I had to, tell him for 7 years straight, every time he seen me, every time he spoke to me, every time he acknowledged me, I told him, I love you. Now he would just say bye or, good, I'll see you later. But it took 7 years for him to say that, right? So my younger brother never heard that from his father, and he never heard it from his older brother. And my younger brother was in my barber chair, and And my older brother was in my barber chair, and I was talking to my younger brother on the phone, and I put my older brother on the phone. When my older brother finished speaking to him, he said, all right, Fulton, I see you later. I love you, bro. And when he said that, and my brother gave me the phone back, my brother was on the phone crying.
Right.
You feel me, bro? God, because he never, and I said, yo, what's wrong with you? I had to go in the bathroom, like, yo, what's good? What's wrong with you? And he was crying hard, bro. And he said, I never heard my brother tell me he loved me.
Right.
You feel me? So we've been traumatized, bro, genetically by this conditioning, bro. And we ain't got that.
Black men
don't got that.
Black men in particular, because you know and it's coming from other black men, like our fathers, our brothers. We don't tell each other we love each other, right? Because mom tells son, I love you. Mm-hmm. Dad tells daughter, I love you. But you don't hear fathers tell sons often enough. Black fathers tell sons, I love you. Or brothers telling brothers, I love you. And you damn sure don't hear it on the street. Which goes back to what I was saying, that, the black man is the least loved, maybe, least respected. We don't know love. We don't know love. So Master P's approach was, he didn't know love either. His father probably didn't show him love.
He said it.
But he didn't have. He thought by providing and doing for Romeo was enough. But Romeo's probably calling out for that compassion. That's what he's saying, that, you never mentioned you have a child that died and you didn't say anything publicly. He's talking about emotions.
Yeah,
so,
thank you.
But that's part of the trauma of Master P's father, passed on to him.
It's passed down generationally.
It's passed on. So that's what I mean, to go public with it. Just talk about it if you can. But, we can't talk about it. We don't know a way to talk about it.
You know what, Joshua? These are the conversations that we have.
Hey, this my testimony right here for this guy. This the one that's been raised from day one. But the word love is just synonymous. It's not a stranger, right or wrong, right? And we don't leave each other or talk to each other without the activity of love. We don't see each other in the morning without hugging each other.
Right.
You understand?
We don't leave each other at night.
Period.
Right.
You feel me? So the twin factor is real, but the love is supposed to be there. And that's the most important part in activity.
In today's society, love has been a thing to be strayed away from by men. Showed us something as a weakness, or showed us something that should be, kept towards you, because nobody else will understand what you love or how you love. But when I grew up, I learned to love unapologetically, regardless of how the love may be reciprocated or received by somebody. Love is just something that needs to be poured on to everybody that we do love, because you never know who needs it, when it's needed, or when you'll get it back. You know what I mean? So giving is just the same as receiving. So, as black men, we got to show each other all love. Family, friend, brother, sister, cousin, everybody is more important than we all seem to think today.
Right. True indeed.
Peace, young man. Peace, young man. Peace, young guy.
Appreciate you. Peace, King.
These conversations, but these are the conversations.
Sound like your father, man.
These are conversations that's necessary to be had, because the thing is this: when we talk about black fathers, and even to go back and forth between Ja and the sister that was on, we've been taught in warfare, the black community was the way to destroy the men was they took away our love and compassion for each other. So we'll go to work, we'll provide. Our way of love is in our work. And that's one way too, Joshua. But also our way of love, we as leaders of men and leaders of communities, we have to show it. Because the reason our boys kill each other, they don't know how to have compassion for each other. They never seen men do it. So why should I have compassion for this brother when I never seen men have compassion? Yeah, my father provided, but that's all he did. My father never sat down and told me he loved me. So why would I love my neighbor? I remember being the only thing I remember growing up in Philly, because half the black male population is Muslim. When we walked in the masjid when I was young in my 20s, after we prayed, we all had to walk up to another brother and tell him you love him.
Right.
I love him, brother. That was in the masjid in the 90s.
Yeah.
But back in the day, that love amongst the reason why it was so many black Muslims in Philly, young men, because it was a love of brotherhood. That was there that you didn't get in your household. And guess what? Those brothers wasn't killing each other. So
AG,
no.
AG, is it hard Is it hard for you to, if you see a man and you call him a nigga, is it easier for you to disrespect or kill him than it is if you see a brother and call him a brother?
Back in the day, it would have been, not today, but back in the day, probably, yeah, I wasn't with all that.
Right now, the reason in the Nation of Islam that we're conditioned to call each other brother and sister, regardless of what your title is, what your rank is in the military, what you do in your regular life, you're my brother. And when I say you're my brother, it shows that we have a kinship. Yes. We belong to a collective. We have a responsibility now, because what hurts my brother hurts me. What hurts my sister hurts me. And when I see that, I don't see it as just my nigga. My nigga is that slave that's been conditioned by the slave master. My brother is my kinship. He's my Aelite. And we need to be addressing each other as brother and sister when we talk to each other. And that will create a mental discipline that our physical actions will follow.
Absolutely.
And that's black love.
Can I add on? Can I add on a little bit?
Sir.
So also in the nation, it's one of the first things we learn, that we refer to each other as brothers. But when we embrace each other, we shake each other's hands, but we grab with 2 hands. 2 hands we embrace. And then we go cheek to cheek, which represents a kiss from one side of the face to the other. That's, heart to heart. You understand? You pull your brother in. You bow when you see him. You grab him with 2 hands and greet him. If he give you a greeting, you return with a better greeting. And then you give him cheek to cheek. It's heart to heart, hand to hand, cheek to cheek, mind to mind. And you say you love him. We love each other before we depart. So it's one of the things that we do in the nation. When we first walk in, we learn it. As soon as we walk in, and it's to undo the trauma, undo what the enemy has done to us. So we need to start practices that undo some of the psychological damage that was done to us. And that's what the nation does.
And it starts with us as men, because we're the leaders. That's why, watch this, John. That's why the sister was going back and forth with you so much. It's not the fact that she's just combative. It's part of our trauma. We don't know how to love and respect each other. That's why I'm glad you handled it the way that you did. Because you know what I love my sister. You know what I learned, John? A lot of times, man, we get that from sisters. They're not even being disrespectful, bro. They're behaving the way they're trying to behave.
Yeah, they just and based on their trauma that's been attached to them as a new characteristic in how they behave. That's why I love my sister Mecca, and that's why I offered. I said, look, sis, I'm gonna meet you. I'm going to convince her to meet me anyway offline, so she can just speak to the God and see that she's a God in the universe along with me. You feel me?
It's our job as men to fix those problems.
That's right. That's right, God. I wouldn't be the man that I am if I wouldn't pursue that, God.
The crazy part. I'm gonna put this in the conversation too for people watching us in the chat, so that way we can get full understanding. Me saying what I'm saying about P, or even when the sister was talking, right, and when she felt as though her as a mom was being questioned. When we had these type of conversations, if you're being critiqued, I had to learn this. I had to explain it to my wife. That don't mean that you failed. That don't mean I'm saying you failed as a mom. That doesn't mean that you failed as a father. That means that I'm critiquing certain things about our characteristics that maybe we can change to be better. Just because I say something to Ja, yo, man, you shouldn't have did that. And he say, man, what are you talking about, man? I'm a great dad. Well, bro, nobody said you failed as a dad. You may be an amazing dad, but we all can do better. And if I love my brother or my sister, we should be able to say something based off of the problems that we see. So when I'm discussing P, I think that P did a great job as a father, but he has flaws. These are the flaws that we're talking about. So we got to stop being offended when we get critiqued. Because sometimes, and that's why when I critique with scripture. I critique with the word, not the way I feel.
That's right.
Because I want my son, and I know Ja would want his son, if his son is disgruntled with him, Ja would want his son to think of scripture first before he approaches dad.
That's right.
And because then he approach with love and instructions. He will be approaching with instructions. 32. That's all I'm saying. It don't mean that you're a bad dad or you failed as a mom. We all need critique in our communities, man.
Yeah, we ain't gonna have it perfect because we're imperfect. However, there should be standards and codes as a community, as a communal. And that's something that we're missing. And we start in our homes. We teach our own children, because if the children can't reflect you, then you've already failed as a parent. The children should reflect you until your children become a responsible adult that's responsible and accountable for their own choices, ways, and actions. But they've been given a foundation. And that's what I believe that we should be doing as a community and as a culture. There's a certain foundation that must be given, a certain standard and a certain code that we must be all collectively accountable for, and not dismissive by saying, well, this is just me and my choices. This is me and my household. No, there has to be a black code that changes how we function as a people. And until we get on that, we're going to have these reoccurrences and be made public. Right. Because remember this, that our counterparts, our competitors in this society, our male competitors, them dudes, you don't see this. And when you do see it, they do it for great benefits. And that's why I asked the question, who in that family benefits from this exposure, this public argument, and this now scandal?
Right. I hope they both do. I hope they both
Now,
do.
it hurts. Yeah, it hurts. It hurts the family.
You know what I think though, Josh? Sometimes I think it has to, the powder cake has to burst in order to get the attention to bring them back. Sometimes, man, the Most High gotta expose things to bring you back to the fold. Yeah, I mean, I can't do it when you're still in your own emotions, you in your own foolishness. I gotta expose it to bring you back. I mean, so sometimes things like this happen for a reason. I just hope that they can get it. But what I've learned to do, getting myself in trouble throughout the years and leaning to my own understanding, is everything that I do in my 47 years of living now, and I teach it to my son, especially my youngest son. Everything I do jives with scripture. Everything. Because if I lean to my own shit, I'm in trouble.
Lean not into your own understanding.
I'm in trouble.
And that, right, many men have been misled. I just question that. If I could speak to Romeo, I'll tell him, be your father's son, right? Because you're no longer your father's child.
Right. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'm gonna tell you, man, listen, my wife told me one day about a year ago, she said, how come you never hug on your son? And you know what's funny? When she said that to me, Joshua, I never even thought about it. I've been there since he was born. I named him, I claimed him, that's my son. But she said, you never hug on him. You never hug him. You never, and I was like, and I thought, I said, my dad never hug. I said, damn, you know what? I told myself when I was a teenager that when I had my kids, I'm not gonna be like my dad, man. Right. But as I had my kids, I'm more like him than I ever know. Good and bad though. But my wife, she said, you don't hug him. Like, you don't never hug, you're not affectionate towards them. And you know what's funny? You know what happened? When she said that to me, she says it to me often. I found myself being finding it hard, John, to hug them. I'm like, but I didn't do it with my daughters either.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, snap. And I'm learning how to break out of that and be more emotionally connected to my children. Right. I was a provider, but I wasn't emotionally connected to them, man. But that's all the way back from slavery. When you create that thought process in the leader, because at the minute of the leader, you have to be emotional. I'm protection, direction, and correction. How can I be all three of those things and I'm not emotionally connected? Right. That don't work.
And what we do is we misunderstand the word emotion is like the word love. It's been mischaracterized, misused, and undefined. Like your emotion is your influence thought activity. Emotions are based on thoughts. So when you express yourself, the love that you have for your son, that's an activity, an active activity of expression of how you feel. But that feeling is a thought. And you should be allowed to express that in any way you find fit. However, that do have standards and codes, because men shouldn't be kissing their baby sons in the mouth. But that's another directive of being a man, or rule that you should know. Manhood is taught by other successful, experienced men. And we don't have that trickle down effect in our community as a standard like other people do as a culture.
We know how to discipline quick, but
yeah,
I found myself. I found myself checking my sons, and then my oldest son, my 31-year-old, he was born when I was in the street. He had the best of Gucci, cars, everything. He rebelled against me and ended up going to jail. They gave him 11.5 to 22 years. I stood in court, couldn't damn near fainted, right? Gave my first child 11.5 to 22 years. Cost me $25,000. I got it back down to 5 to 10. He's home, right? We had a big argument.
Praise to Allah.
Yeah, praise. We had a big argument, Ja. My son never disrespected me. He was afraid of me the way I was afraid of my son. I didn't play with my daughters got away with murder, but I didn't play with my boys, right? We had a big argument. He was grown now. Came home from jail, was a little puffed up like I am. We had some words, but I'm gonna tell you what he did that shut me down because I was being dad. I ain't trying to hear that shit. I raised you, being dad. He looked at me and said, "None of that meant nothing because not one time have you ever looked at me in my face and told me you love me. You never sat down and was emotionally attacked." He said he got that from a mentor when he was in prison. He was the father figure. He said, he's told me, he said, "I love you, you're my father, but you never knew how to be a father to me."
Right.
And when he said that to me, I just looked at him, and I'm gonna tell you why I stopped. That was the same thing I used to say to my father. My oldest son was saying it to me. That's when I knew I had to get in the scriptures and change. But that wasn't my son speaking to me, John. That was the Most High speaking to me.
Fact.
But we do realize though that we can be in the scriptures and teach from it. And just for the record, I got 4 sons. I hug them all. I tell them that they're free to speak their minds as long as they speak it in a respectful manner.
Right.
No conversation is off limits. No conversation is off limits. Whatever you want to talk about, whether it's about me, what you think I'm going wrong as a father, that's an open conversation. The one thing I ask all my children is just let's maintain respect. I'll respect you to allow you to express yourself, and don't raise your voice or start lashing out. And so let's maintain that level of respect. That's how I raise all my children. And I hug them. I raise them with love and understanding. But we do know that you can do all of that. You can lead by scriptures and all of that. You can put God first and all of that. But and your children may still turn, right?
That's true.
I mean, Noah.
Being disrespectful though.
Say again?
Put that up.
So peace, bro.
The prophet Noah advocated for his children with God. You're gonna drown all of them, my children too. God said, "Don't speak to me about the unjust." So children be unjust. You can do all that you can, and they drown. Some of his children drown with the rest of the people. The prophet Noah's children. So we may think that we do everything right, and the child may grow up and still be disrespectful, still go choose his own path. They have a right to do it.
That's true.
Everything right, and the child may grow. So it doesn't always mean that they're right, because they're expressing themselves, and they can be wrong as well.
I think what you're saying is true. I think that what we're saying though is, as men, when we get our mindset of operating the right way, we'll recognize all that anyway. And see, my thing is, if I'm operating from a leader, the proper leader, based off of scripture, when my son is out of order, let's put it in this perspective. If I'm operating through scripture the way I'm supposed to, and my son is out of order, when I do make my judgments towards my son, I believe that the Most High gonna guide me anyway. I can't save my son's life. He got to make his own decision. But I'm gonna stand on scripture when raising my son. Either you're gonna be this or you ain't. If you ain't gonna get it, but if I'm not right, see, my thing was I'm speaking because I wasn't all the way right, because some things I was disgruntled with my father, I actually poured that into my son because I didn't recognize it. So now that I recognize it with my younger son, I'm operating differently.
Right. But your older son grew up to resent some of the things,
Yep. The same way I did with my dad.
Right. And sometimes you can't do that, because we're learning.
Yes.
Until they mature and get, a little bit more sound emotionally, they can say, well, my father had trauma from his father, so he didn't know. I had my first child when I was 19. Think I knew how to be a father? Of course I did. Did I make mistakes? Yeah, I made mistakes. So I'm still learning and trying to find some corrections that I learned for years. I'm a 4-year-old, but my oldest is 36. my oldest is 30, but I'm learning along the way. We all have shortcomings, but I would never go. I would never go in the public. I'm not telling the man Romeo how to express his hurt, but you know that's a family affair. Like
you breaking up. You breaking up, John.
Pardon me. I said we should all get some type of counsel or therapy to try to undo some of the trauma. So, and the best way to do it is not always in the public. But you can't, when a man is hurt, he's hurt. He's screaming out of pain. So I get it. I get what Romeo's doing. He's hurt.
Yeah,
that don't make him right.
We also never addressed the possibility of when he did approach his father, did he approach him in the same emotional state, which would have been disrespectful, loud and accusatory. See, when you're a son, we all have those instances with our sons.
Yeah.
You feel me? My oldest son, that's 34 years old, he's done a lot in his life. And he and I has never had that moment where we had conflict. And that's because he was raised outside of my home. And my younger son and my two other sons, when we had conflict, it was direct. But one thing I did, I hesitated at what was being said to me right away, just like G did. I hesitated and I said, okay, he's right. I'm wrong. Let me address that. And after I addressed my faults, then I addressed how he addressed it. And then that's how you solve it. And if your son doesn't hesitate to that, then, here we have these scenarios. So I don't know how Master P handled that first confrontation, but I don't know how Romeo presented it.
Right.
And we know as men, you ain't going to do too much to me as a son when I'm your father and I've taken care of you since you were a thought in my mind.
Right.
When I placed you in your mother's womb, I've been that guy. So you ain't gonna mess. And you got to think of all of the kids that never had Romeo life. His father could have ignored him like other fathers have done their sons public.
Yeah, the great part about it is it sparks a conversation for us to have amongst men. Certain conversations that we actually don't have, because you have conversations like this that actually, when people watch, hopefully you could take something from this when the live stream is over. You can say, well, damn, you know what? Maybe I could implement this in my life. That's the most important part of what I always gather. And I always look at the silver lining and things like, okay, why did this happen? Okay, Most High, why did you allow this to happen? What message? Why did you allow this to happen? And why did you allow me to see it? What is the message that I'm getting in this? So the message I get in this is, what can I do better now to make sure that I can prevent my son from doing something like that, and actually prevent him from maybe being upset? How can I mean, can I just walk in the kitchen one day and say, hey, son, how was your day? How's everything going? Come sit down. Let me talk to you. What's wrong with me doing that? Me doing that things can prevent future explosions.
Right.
From happening. So for me, that's what I get from that. That's what I learned from that. And it furthers the conversation of us grown men actually connecting, having a conversation on things that we can do better. And it was good that the sister even came and had the outburst. What do we all learn from that? Because we can easily go the way was these women are crazy. Or we can say they're crazy, but some stuff is legitimate. And how can we fix the problem as men? We're fixers. As men, we're
right. How can we help our sisters? Because they traumatized too. So how can we help them? Their outburst is sometimes valid and validated. However, how can we help correct? I just told my sister yesterday, bro, and I want to close with this because I got to hit my man joint, that wrong is wrong. You can only fix what's wrong with you. You can't change what's wrong.
Right. That's it.
So in saying that, when we got problems, when we got flaws, bro, we should strive to fix it and not change it. Because what's going to be is the way it's going to be, whether it's our children or whether it's our parents.
I'll close out with this. Brothers listening, this for the brothers listening. Every day you should want for your brother what you want for yourself, and let's strive to be problem solvers. I know a lot of us wasn't raised to be problem solvers. A lot of us wasn't raised to meet the expectations that actually society, our communities have on us. We wasn't raised to understand that. So when we talk like this as men, we are natural problem solvers and protectors by nature. So let's love for your brothers what you want for yourself. And when you start loving your brothers, the women will automatically become protected. Because all of us are connected to women we love. And if you love your brother, you'll love the women that's connected to him the same.
True indeed.
True indeed.
Can I end on a quick note as well?
What?
Sister Mecca was valid. You know, she's speaking out of her trauma, in my opinion. But I heard her, and we should hear her. The black woman feels unprotected. That's valid. We don't protect her. We don't protect ourselves, so we know what she's saying is valid. Of course, we can't protect her if we don't protect ourselves. From all of the traps that the enemy set for, we fall into every one of them. And one of them is the lack of protect for our women. They want that because they could swoop in and create dissension and cause dissension. So I heard her. We all should hear her, and we should all step up as men and stop the nonsense with disrespecting black women. You know, a woman ain't nothing but a hoe or drink, or I ain't got love for these hoes. All that stuff is nonsense, brother. We got to raise the black and elevate the black woman and protect her so she feels secure, so she's not lashing out like that. But we got to do our job as men. You know, the other thing I want to say is respect for the black men on this call. You know, it's a good conversation, I believe. It sounds like we got some good fathers on this call, strong black men and good fathers on this call.
Well,
I respect y'all and I love y'all.
On it.
Love you too, black man. I love my brothers and my sisters.
Absolutely.
All right, cuz I love you. Yo. We're about to end it like this, show. Let me present something to you real quick. And then we're gonna end it and we're gonna go ahead and my man Cross show.
I don't have no
US.
Yeah.
Small. 50 coins.
Hey G, hit me in the back chat with your info.
What up, y'all? You know who it is. Your boy J.D. Kiss, you know what I mean? Right now with Christian. Shout out to Camden, New Jersey, all my niggas out there. Let's get right into it.
Yeah. Yo, Jay,
Christian,
man.
¿Cuánto?
Dude,
let's get him, man. 75? 75.
Yeah, never off plan. Used to get busy with them guns in my hand. 4 or 5 all black, 9 with a grand in my pocket and be cool as a fan. Btbtv, we are not playing. Y'all just talk, we back it up and down. Sideways, F what y'all saying. We Kyrie and Kanye. This a boss talk, so you clowns should just fly away. Yeah, on the bridge, throw your frame off the highway. This not a game, this is business, this my way. Real talk, your opinion is nothing to us. We gon' stay on chill, long as y'all don't violate. But it's not fair. We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you could be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better beware. Cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. But we the best, I swear. We the best, I stay up in the mix. A project politics, my mood kinda sick. Name well known from the hood to the sticks. 100 on the highway, flying so fast, burn the gears when I shift. Some people kick dirt on your name, what shoes you gave them. Broke your back for them and they got the nerve to play you. Kick rap's door off, pushed and shoved my way through. Bum rush the kitchen, put my floor up on the menu. The jealousy be hitting up in jokes. That's why I stay serious like David Banner turned in the Hulk in pure form like the Pope. Haters get infrared beams with the scope, so run and get ghosts. We fight good, boxed in like Floyd on the ropes. I'm the great black hope. Then we the team and they know it coast to coast and it just ain't fair. We could be cool or your worst nightmare. We the best, I swear. And you can be my friend or enemy, I don't care. And you better beware. Cause we coming for the whole pie and we don't share. No, it just ain't fair. We the best, if you with us, put your lighters in the air. No, it just ain't fair.
Btbtv. Just ain't fair, man. Yeah. Yo, man, Jada Kiss should have blessed my dude with a verse, man. That would have been so dope, man.
You're born.
Let's show them how we
Show
do
them how
it,
we do this, man. Btbtv.
We bully the
bullies. No run, no retreat. Yeah. Btbtv. One more time for y'all in the back. Y'all slow ninjas. Right. Yo. John Gotti flow, rap Pablo, Escobar status, rap game Corleone. I can show you how you lay back and watch your pockets grow. Stay away from devious women, end up like Papa Smoke. Y'all wake up every day twitching like the Wagata post. I wake up every day mission. It's $1 million notes. Dominoes, bodies drop, rot stick like hollow toast. Broadway, man, if you know, then you know. I came for everything they said I couldn't have. Got that and then some, and then some. My wins on overload. Say y'all overdose. Your rappers in the tight squeeze and that clutch like Cobra rope. The okie-doke, we don't go for that. Harsh rope. Another tale from the street. Death and horror flow. The projects like a ghost try and haunt your soul. Another tale from the street. Homicide the folks who want to play to them guns scream adios. Another tale from the street. Black Mafia. So Don Corleone mixed with Al Capone. Another tale from the street like an opera show. These kids be acting till they life blue and curtain clothes. Nowadays your foes will plot you wearing Malcolm X hats, 666, the devil on his shoulder, won the death match. Reminiscing when more street ninjas was off the hook, chasing D's up off the block, trying to run and get the force, blood on pavement. He's 12 years old and he's tough to play with. He don't go to the playground, that's his fiends who want their veins stick. We can't miss, we can hit the target with our hands behind our back, our eyes closed and half brainless. Don't play with us. Another tale from the street.
That's the horror flow.
The projects like a ghost try and haunt your soul. Another tale from the street. Homicide the folk who want to play to them guns scream adios. Another tale from the street. Black Mafia. So Don Corleone mixed with Al Capone. Another tale from the street like an opera show. These kids be acting till they light moving curtain closed. Yeah.
Btbtv. It's the movement.
It's the movement, man. You're born. You're born. Let's get them. Let's get them.
Yo, I want to thank everybody in the chat for showing love and commenting and donating. I want to thank my whole panel. You know what I'm saying? We all going to my boy Cross the Plug platform now. I salute you. My boy, my little bro, Mac Mizzle in the building. Shout out. Yo, this is Kagan, New Jersey. This is Btbtv. We bully the bullies. I'm your honorable host, Born Divine Almighty Allah. And we ain't no Bloods or no Crips. We doing our own thing. Btbtv that started his own game. Like, nigga, what? We out of here.
You already. Peace.